guys, how's it going? Very cold morning here in the south. Snow on the ground in a couple places. Not much here, but sure is cold. I am smoking some Frog Morton. More about that in a second. And having a cup of coffee. Which I'd like to argue, and it's just my opinion, so I could be wrong, but I am the expert on my opinion, and it is my opinion that the single best pairing, beverage-wise, with tobacco of any kind, of course, that includes pipe tobacco, the single best pairing is coffee. Bold claim, right? By saying that, I am saying that a bunch of other awesome beverages are not the best pairing, such as tea, water, lemonade, soda, scotch, beer, or whatever whiskey, bourbon. I like bourbon a lot too. No, those are all great, but none of those are the best. Coffee is the best. Why is that? Allow me to explain. As I keep the fire alive. Coffee is the best. Why is that? Well, I'm not factoring in weather because it's not this cold year round. In fact, some days it's so hot that the thought of having hot coffee is a turnoff. On those days, I would have a cold brew. But why coffee? The reason is pretty simple. Coffee is very acidic. Coffee is also an antioxidant. Like several other beans you may know about, including the cocoa bean, cacao, chocolate, right? Dark chocolate is rich in antioxidants. Coffee is rich in antioxidants, and it's very acidic. The acidity counters the burn that you might experience from pipe tobacco, thinking tongue bite here. It does a good job of countering that. Also, antioxidants have positive health properties. I'm sure you know about that. And smoking of any kind doesn't have such positive health properties. It's true. And you know what? I've sensed over the years that pipe smokers, of all the smokers, or tobacco users in general, certainly cigarette smokers, but even cigar smokers, people who use smokeless tobacco, such as dip, snus, chewing tobacco. Of all of those crowds, pipe smokers seem to be the most health conscientious. Right? And of course, there's a lot of pipe smokers don't inhale. They just enjoy the taste of the tobacco for what it is, great tasting tobacco, and you get a little nick rush if that's your thing. But I've noticed that pipe tobacco users tend to be more health conscious. Well, this should appeal to those of you that are somewhat health conscious. There could be some positive health properties with drinking something like coffee as opposed to something alcoholic like a beer or a whiskey, which I've actually read worsens the effects on the palate, on the tongue, as far as damaging your cells. I'm not a doctor. That's what I've heard, and it makes sense to me. Alcohol has a burning property. Everybody who's had a shot of whiskey knows that, and certainly tobacco can too. Least of all, pipe tobacco, which is known for tongue bite. So that's why I think coffee is the single best pairing with tobacco. I'm going to say of any kind. It also goes great with cigars. Crazy coincidence, another YouTuber that I follow by the name of Ralfy, who does Scotch whiskey reviews out of Scotland, released a video just hours after I filmed the very video that you're watching now, called Whiskey and Cigars 2021, where he discusses the idea that the best pairing with a cigar may not be whiskey, and gives some really well thought out, eloquent reasons why. Some of the reasons overlap a little bit with the reasons that I give, but I think he does a better job of explaining it. Check this video out. I'm gonna add a link to it in the description box below. Coffee is the best pairing with tobacco. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are gonna disagree. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with me? What do you guys think the best pairing is? And of course, I've considered certain specific things when thinking about why coffee goes great with pipe tobacco. I didn't even mention the taste. Obviously, the taste is there, you know, but tastes are subjective, right? You might enjoy the taste of a scotch or a tea and think that pairs better with your tobacco. You might be right. Briefly on taste though, I do think that coffee is best with tobacco in its purest form, which would be black coffee. No sugar, no fancy flavorings, maybe some cream. I really like cream with my coffee. I'm not having cream with my coffee now, but I enjoy cream with my coffee. So again, I'd love to hear your opinions. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your all's favorite pairings? And then, as I mentioned at the start of this video, I am smoking Frog Morton. Hopefully you can read that. That says 2010. That makes this 10 years aged Frog Morton. I did recently pop the top on it, and I'm almost to the end of it, and I'm so sad because, as you guys know, McClelland's has died. They called it quits. And I so hated to hear that because Frog Morton is and will always be one of my favorite English tobacco blends. And McClelland has tons of great blends. I have another tin of something, which I won't reveal here, but it may be related to that tin, and it has some age on it. And I plan to make a video about that in the future when I get around to popping that open, whenever the right day comes. But it's a bittersweet moment, finishing off this jar of McClelland's Frog Morton. Speaking of Frog Morton, I know that ever since that they went out of business and closed up shop, I'm sure people have been missing their Frog Morton. Although, if you were really a fan, you probably have some settled away. But I'm curious, for you guys who enjoy Frog Morton, what have been some of your alternatives that you've gone to replace Frog Morton? Meaning, what do you guys think is similar in taste? One of the things I always loved about Frog Morton is how little of a nicotine hit it had, because I don't prefer a hard, heavy nicotine hit. So I tend to gravitate towards blends that are lighter body nicotine wise, but full body taste, and that's totally possible. Frog Morton though isn't the most full body tasting English blend that I've ever had, but it is very tasty, and it's light on nicotine, which is what I love about it. In fact, a lot of McClelland's blends were like that. It's one reason why I've hesitated to dive deeper into Cornell and Deal's blends, because all of their blends seem to be fairly heavy on nicotine. So I'm curious, let me know in the comment section what you guys have used to replace Frog Morton, although let's be honest, there's no replacing Frog Morton. Let me know what you've used to come close. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. As you might have noticed, I recently released a video, and before that it had been some 4 years since I had released a video. The last video that I released actually wasn't new. I found it on my phone. It's about a year old, so this is truly the first time that I've checked in with you guys in quite a while, but I intend to make more videos. I appreciate you guys who continue to follow. I will be releasing new videos more frequently. If you haven't already, or you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Click the notification bell to get updates, and I'll see you guys next time.